Steve Mohr is an industry professional with extensive experience driving revenue growth for large-scale businesses. He's a dedicated leader and strategist with a track record of building opportunities, achieving product expertise, creating key customer and supplier relationships, and negotiating. He currently serves as Director of Agency Growth Strategy with Indium. However, he also recently created a new platform called the Insurance Industry Index. Today, we are going to discuss this new project. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you. Looking forward to our conversation.
Thanks, me too. What exactly is the Insurance Industry Index?
So what I'm building is actually going to be the largest and most comprehensive index of information around the insurance industry. There are a lot of resources out there that are bits and pieces, or maybe it's just P&C or just life and health, or really fragmented based on what the network or association that's providing the information wants people to see. But we're really building something that's going to be all-encompassing for all lines of business and really be a resource for agencies and service providers to connect and share information and resources.
It sounds amazing. It's really hard when the industry is scattered. There's so much happening that it's very difficult for somebody who is in the industry to stay on top of everything that's happening.
Yep,
and all of the changes, technology and different players in the market. Great idea. And where exactly did the idea come from?
Yeah, so I've been in the insurance industry for a very long time. It was in the independent agency world as a producer, as a manager, and then I was in the technology space for a while, selling to independent agencies and captive agencies, and then spent about 9 years with Allstate in their technology organization prior to jumping back into the independent agency game that I hadn't been in for basically a decade. And there just wasn't a good resource for me coming back into the industry to find what new technologies are out there, what networks and associations are out there to connect with, where are the events, which events should I go to, whether it was job listings, whatever. There was just, again, all these disparate pieces of information, and the people presenting the information only showed you what they wanted you to see. It truly started as a massive Excel spreadsheet that I created for myself, and then really had the idea. It's been just about a really COVID time, sitting in the house and saying that there's really a need, especially now, for this central piece of information. So that's really where it evolved from. And obviously, as you go down these paths, it continues to grow and new ideas come into it. But that's really where it came down to. My own personal experience of not finding the information I needed to succeed.
Yeah, and isn't that where the best ideas come from?
Exactly.
Is the pain points. How is the Insurance Industry Index different than all the other sites that exist? Tell me some specifics.
It's going to be a free resource with premium offering. We're going to allow everybody the opportunity to be on the site. And, that's really the difference. And we're really going to cover a lot of ground. It's a niche site from the industry standpoint, but it's not a niche site from the information we present. And that's really where we see the differentiation.
Terrific. And what options are there for people that want to get listed on the site?
Yep. So basically anybody involved in the industry can be listed. There's a number of categories, and we are in the process of building the database of listings, and basically everybody is going to be listed for free. There is an opportunity to pay a small premium to have a full page ad. So the free listing will just be a headline. It'll be a link to your website, an email address, and there's a form that you can fill out to be part of that free listing. And then once you do that, there will be an offer sent out. And it's trying to keep it very inexpensive, especially as you get started. But for $200 basically for the year, you get a full page ad on the site. It allows you for more information. It allows you to do a nice cover photo. And then there's a contact form on that page as well, so people can actually reach out to you directly. And as we build that out, there'll be more stuff coming. What we're really trying to get to as we build the site is to connect things, if that makes sense. So if you're a technology provider, we want you to be able to list who you're integrated with. And then if you're an event, we want you to be able to list who your speakers are going to be. As people get to the site, they can actually search. I don't want to just see an AMS. I want to see an AMS that integrates with this VoIP system and this CRM. So now that list of 40 becomes a list of 4, perhaps. And then we will have a category leader opportunity where one provider per category will be able to be listed on the front page. We'll be doing some social media posting on their behalf and webinars and different things along those lines. But most likely you'll be receiving an email at some point, either saying, hey, you're already listed on the site, do you want to update? or an offer to get listed on the site. So that's really the deal. And again, it's open to all the startups. It's a great opportunity to potentially get some visibility that they don't have now.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, anyone who's been in the industry for a while knows that it's really difficult to find all of this information, and it takes a lot of research and it takes a lot of knowledge. And if you're someone who has been put in charge of doing that research, how wonderful of a tool it would be to just be able to go to one place to find all of it, and to be able to cut down from this down to, exactly
Yeah,
what
just
you
kind
need
of
to see.
Yeah, just a fun story. Most people know who Billy Williams is, a good friend of mine. And he called me up as we were viewing the site. And he was like, basically said how the site, he feels like the site will save him money, where he's having VAs or his employees actually do all this research, where, as this grows and progresses, he'll literally be able to just jump on the site, type it in and go. It's great to hear stories like that as you're building something, just to validate that it's a strong need out there.
Yeah. And I think the one thing that I'm most excited about is the events section, because events happen all year long. And I'll be honest, I have been in the events industry within the insurance space for quite a while. I've planned a lot of conferences, and it's always the case where you may be planning a conference and you have no idea that someone else might already have a conference booked for that same time. And so just being able to quickly go in and say, oh, wow, there's all these conferences happening in this particular month. Maybe I need to back it up. That's going to be amazing. Tell me a little bit more about what your plans are for that.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, the events section is really what started this whole ball rolling. I jumped in and was trying to find the right places to go. It's just impossible. There's a couple resources out there that have events, but they're just tend to be outdated, not accurate. And by the time you go through the Big I, the PIA, all the associations and networks, there is a massive amount of events. And to your point, whether you're a vendor trying to figure out where you want to be, or you're a speaker possibly, and you want to reach out to some event people, I feel like it's a great thing. And I spent the better part of a decade probably traveling 30 weeks a year to events, and became almost a little bit of an expert within the industry. People would always, hey, Steve, where are you going to be? Because they figured that it was a decent event if my company was going. Again, it just became a natural thing to present. And it's just amazing to me still, being in the industry, and even though it's LinkedIn, how many different events are out there that I still don't know about, and they just pop up all the time. But yeah, I think from all parties, right? The people that want to attend, the vendors that want to attend, the planners, the speakers, I really see that becoming an anchor and a reason for people to keep coming back to the site, because there's always stuff happening.
There's a lot of great information that you can glean from an event, and just knowing who it's geared towards. Absolutely. Is it an agent's event? Is it a carrier's event? Is it an insurtech event? And who the players that will be there are. So that's going to be a great area. I love that, because I do a lot of research on that end.
Exactly.
So let's discuss jobs. I know that you had mentioned to me that you were thinking of adding a job section in the future. Tell me what you envision that as being.
Absolutely. It was interesting because it's not something I had thought of initially as something that I would add to the site, but it became very clear right off the bat as I talked to some of the bigger players that it was a need out there. There's one or two niche sites, and I kind of joke around, like, I think they've had the same jobs on there for the last 12 years. It just seems to be the same cycle. And the other option is Indeed, right? And you're just not pulling people that are already in the industry or have licenses and all that kind of stuff, and it's expensive. So, the job section is initially intended for service providers that maybe they need a developer, maybe they need a customer success person. But then as I've talked to agencies about it, they would love to be able to have the ability to find staff, or maybe they're looking to recruit producers or recruit agents in the life and health space. It seems to be a massive need, something that we'll be addressing. So the goal, just with the whole site in general, is I want it to be accessible. I think initially the jobs, I'm still working through if there's going to be even a pricing model, whatever the deal is. I just want, obviously, initially trying to get the interest up and built on it. But yeah, it's really meant to be the industry spot for people to find talent, and for talent to find people that need help. I'm really excited about that part, and see it again, as wasn't something I planned initially, but I really see it being an anchor again of the site. So pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it sounds great. Makes it simple. Now, you talk about the insurance industry, and I know it's a big community. Tell me, are you going to have any sort of area where folks can just get together, or tell me about what your plans are with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is actually a community forum built into the site. And again, like going back to the creation of the site, I had a marketing firm I was working with on a lot of the branding and the name, and they just came back to me and said, every time we talk to you, you just talk about community, you talk about the industry, and you talk about the connections and all that. And they really felt like it would be a miss if we didn't address that with the site. So there is a community forum out there, and the vision, there's obviously hundreds of forums on Facebook. And it's just, I feel like a lot of people are maybe trying not to be on Facebook as much, or the forums, it's like the same questions over and over again. So the goal here is almost by category to have these different forums, right? So there could be an AMS forum, and it's all custom. Like you could literally, people can do whatever they want, but I'll obviously create some structure to it. But you want to discuss your AMS, you want to discuss your CRM, you want to discuss events, right? Hey, there's an event coming up next week. Who's going to be there? Schedule meetups, all that kind of stuff. So the goal, the hope is that ultimately it becomes the core spot for providers and vendors to connect, and agencies. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. That is one of the, as I try and build out the site and look 3, 6, 9 months down the road, I feel like it's probably the hardest one to build, but provides them, but needs the most effort. Now we'll see, hopefully people catch on to it and really start using it as a resource.
Yeah, you've got some big goals. And it's exciting because I bet it's a lot of fun to be able to sit back and think about all the things that you really needed in your career
Yeah.
and try to actually make them come to life in
Yeah.
your head. You've probably thought about it 1,000 times. I need this, I need that.
Yeah.
And making it happen is a whole nother thing. So I applaud you. I, for one, am excited about being along for the ride and to watch it unfold. And I will definitely be signing up as, I guess, a resource for other people to come and see my listing on your site.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a big undertaking, and it's obviously everybody you talk to has different thoughts, ideas, and wrangling those in and making sure you stay focused on the path and not get too crazy on the side streets. But yeah, it's exciting. It really will take the efforts of many to build it to where I hope to build it, whether it's updating listings or driving people towards the forum or making sure the events are updated. It's certainly, right now it's just me and Google, and as we try and build the Google of insurance around here. But yeah, it'll be an interesting ride, and the hope is that the industry and the community really gets behind it and drives it, because it truly is a resource for everybody.
Yeah, I bet they will. I have some experience watching it all, and I, for one, know that it's going to be a great resource, and I think that people are going to really be excited about it. If someone's interested in getting more information, being a part of it, whether it's signing up, obviously they can go to the site to sign up as a listing. But if they just want to talk to you about the project, they want to learn a little bit more about the timeline and all of that, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, easiest thing, I'd say probably LinkedIn would probably be a great way to start. Just look at me on LinkedIn, Steve Mohr. There is a insurance industry index group in LinkedIn that I'm in the process of building out, as well as Facebook. You can always email me. It's Stephen, MOHR, at theinsuranceindex.com. And obviously, we'd love to have you check out the site. Again, it's www.theinsuranceindex.com. And look forward to connecting with as many people as possible, obviously, and sharing the vision and where we can go with it.
Thank you for joining me today, Steve. And I am excited to start playing with the site. I hope that you stay in touch with us and keep us updated as things progress. We'd love to circle back and do another one of these and do an update, because I'm sure that there's a lot to come.
All right. Thanks for your time, Stacie. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.